Fantabulous characters from our brief time with Battleborn. Let's get into it. I took one look at this handsome fellow and knew he was the Battleborn for me. His albeit unhealthy looking proportions certainly caught my eye as he stood wielding his mighty chain gun. Montana's gargantuan pectorals soak up just as much damage as you might expect, and he has a particularly interesting trait that means that the hotter his chain gun gets, the more damage it deals. Muscles, minigun, Montana. Lumberjack Dash. That is the name of Montana's first skill. Even though Montana might look sluggish, don't be fooled. He'll come at you like a northern bullet. Lumberjack Dash, as the name suggests, makes Montana dive forward at you like some kind of terrestrial steroid-fueled Michael Phelps. Upon smashing into a foe, he deals plentiful damage and knocks them backwards, leaving them stunned like a vole in the high beams. Next up then, Hailstorm. This ability makes all the tiny little balls of pain coming out of Montana's barrel slow down enemies. This also gives him a tasty little armor buff. Ice. Nice. Not always. The final and ultimate skill for Montana is Mansformation. While sounding like an energy drink that might give the guzzler gratuitous amounts of energy, this ability causes Montana to unleash a stomp so powerful that it knocks enemies around him into the air like hot floppy bread. During the slam, Montana mansforms to resemble Colossus from the X-Men. With his new shiny metallic skin, he takes reduced damage for a short time. Overall, I really enjoyed playing Montana, especially when a Miko player took a particular shine to keeping my health topped up and we crushed everything that got remotely near us. If you're a fan of the medic heavy combo in Team Fortress 2, then Montana and a healer of your choice might be the ideal combo for you and a loved one to use as you skip merrily into the killing fields. The second Battleborn up for show is Phoebe Elizabeth Ordelia Hemsworth IV, as she is known to her friends, but you can call her Phoebe. She uses technology to stab the shit out of things with 5 telekinetic floating swords. Oh, and she can bloody teleport. Like a posh Sam Carter from Stargate SG-1, but without the massive ring or the splooshy watery wormhole. Phase Gate, Phoebe's first skill, allows her to teleport in the direction she is facing. When she blinks forward, she emerges like an incredibly dangerous butterfly, dealing damage to all nearby enemies with her pointed metal sticks. Secondly, Blade Rush. Her next skill does exactly what it says on the digital Ronseal tin. Phoebe hurls 4 charged rapiers into the enemy, carving them up like yesterday's roast ham. Seeing as how melee is Phoebe's game, a mildly ranged attack fits nicely into her hot little repertoire. Lastly then, the ultimate, Blade Cascade. A cascade of blades that causes many rapiers, tens some might say, to fall from the sky, dealing out decent damage over time. Standing within this rather substantial area for any period of time might be akin to standing in an open field in the middle of a hailstorm on a traditional Scotch summer's day. In layman's terms, suicide. Okay. As for my overview, I must point out here that I did not personally get a chance to play Phoebe, as I was off interviewing a lovely man named Randy. Luckily, a weary bystander wanted to sit down and took my place for a round. He couldn't comprehend my config, and so played using the controller. After watching back the footage, however, Phoebe looks to be an agile and useful Battleborn, and her hot melee looks right up my street. Ambra, the next Battleborn, is a spicy little priestess with magical sun powers. At first, she's a strange character to wield, being both an adept healer as well as a pretty strong damage dealer in the late game. She also possesses a gauntlet that allows her to steal life from her opponents and a flame shield passive that instantly pops as soon as she gets any kind of negative status effects. That's classic futuristic sun-worshipping Egyptian-style dancing priestesses for you. Her first skill, Sunspot, harnesses the powers of miniature suns. These tiny nuclear furnaces detonate on contact with either friend or foe. The sunspots will heal your allies and scorch your enemies like hot, buttery, Icarus-shaped pancakes. The second skill in Ambra's armory is Solar Wind. This ability conjures up a fiery gust that knocks enemies away from you as well as healing allies. One word, Windburn. Oh wait, that's 2 words. Fuck it! Ultimate! Ambra's ultimate skill, Extinction Event. Sounds just as cataclysmic as it is. Do you see any dinosaurs in Battleborn? No? Well, neither do I, and I'm pretty sure we have Ambra to thank for that. Thanks, Ambra! Extinction Event summons a flaming meteor, which slams into the ground, dealing damage to anyone under it. It also scorches the earth below and burns anyone who's stood in the area for a few seconds. In closing, I had a fairly brief time with Ambra, and I feel like she's possibly a very, very strong Battleborn in the right hands. She's got self-heals, damage, and team healing, which makes her very survivable and very versatile in lots of different scenarios. If you're looking for an all-rounder, Ambra could be for you. Saving the best for last, My personal favourite of the few Battleborn that I got to try was Marquise. Formerly Phoebe's robotic butler, his AI's gone screwy and now he's hellbent on raising explosive owls and looking rather quite dapper. His cane doubles up as both a sniper rifle and a close-range pistol, and he also has a pocket watch that controls time. His passive also means that the third shot successfully struck on the same target does an extra 50% bonus damage. Oh, suit you, sir. His first skill, Temporal Distortion, uses the aforementioned pocket watch to slap down a timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly time bubble, which slows all enemies within. This makes them sitting ducks for nicely placed headshots, like fish in a bubble. As if controlling time and shooting a cane/collapsible sniper rifle/pistol wasn't enough, Marquise can pluck mechanical owls from his hat using his second skill. Predatory Strike! These adorable winged creatures reveal enemies on the minimap, and should an enemy stray too close, commit an honourable seppuku and kamikaze into certain death, dealing a splendid amount of damage. Finally then, Marquise's ultimate skill, Bindle Blast. This ultimate fires a single charged shot from his rifle, which deals a rather high amount of damage. It deals more damage the longer the shot is in flight, so for all the snipers out there, this skill could be particularly devastating. Sadly, in the round where I played as Marquise, we won it so handedly that I actually didn't get a chance to use my ultimate. I was, however, able to obtain this footage of it being used. Here we go. Golly! Overall, I felt most comfortable using Marquise. His rifle did high damage, was pretty fast firing, and his other abilities felt quick to use and complemented the kind of encounters I was finding myself in. I think hit registration wise, I was probably more successful with Montana, spraying and praying. But for a keen-eyed FPS enthusiast, I think you'd be able to dish out a hot amount of damage with Marquise. And that's all for my character overview. If you've stumbled upon my video and haven't seen Tommy's, go and check it out.